you. 2 of us, please.
$8.
Excited to be here. First day. How about that?
$10 is your change.
Thanks very much. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
They can get the old hand stamp.
All right.
Let's head over to the paddock.
I'll find out.
So I want you to get here with the paddock and walk around. I'll edit this out. Clint Goodrich here at Grants Pass Downs. Now, the name of my channel is Don't Get Me Started. The real issue today is, where do I start? It's been a month since my last video, which is about 3 weeks too long. I've been in the process of relocating. I'm setting up a permanent video studio, and we're going to be a lot more regular than we have been in the past 6 weeks, 2 months. I'm going to start uploading videos on a very regular basis. We're going to talk about a lot of topics. We got so much going on here. It's not Don't Get Me Started. It's where do I begin? Where do I start? We got Arlington Park closing. Churchill Downs, the villain in this deal, shutting down Arlington Park because they're greedy. One of my main things that I'm talking about is pathetic racetrack management. Right there, Churchill Downs, CDI, publicly traded company. The only thing they care about at Churchill Downs is the Kentucky Derby and the Oaks, which is Derby week. The rest of it means nothing to them. I'm really beginning to wonder if they're a horse racing operation or if they're just a casino gambling outfit. And that, to me, all signs are pointing toward casino gambling for Churchill Downs. They are not horse racing centric. It's a facade. It's all a joke. We've also got the Bob Baffert Justify bad test stuff going on in California. The California Horse Racing Board fumbling that football in the worst possible method by which they could do it. If you want to make executive decisions on throwing out a bunch of tests because it's contamination, that's your job. You guys are executives. That's what you do. You present a case, and you make the case, and then you make the decision. But you have to make it to the public. You have to share with the public what you're doing and why. You don't bury it and leave cards. You don't deal cards to your opponents. In this case, their opponents are the animal rights activists in California. The California Horse Racing Board dealt them cards. When you deal your opponent's cards, they're going to play them against you every single time. Joe Drape is a despicable human being with the New York Times. He's despicable. But the California Horse Racing Board is the villain here. They are amateurs. It's on display every day. The amateur hour that the California Horse Racing Board has always been, and is continuing to morph into. We've got the Breeders' Cup coming up in Santa Anita. All the issues that have been plaguing Santa Anita, those haven't gone away. They've just put lipstick on the pig there. They're covering it up. They're throwing dust up in the air. It's the gorilla dust syndrome. You throw up the dust, you create a diversion, and you do something else over here. What they're doing at Santa Anita is just activity. They're just moving stuff around. They're not really addressing their problem. Their problem at Santa Anita, and this goes back to pathetic racetrack management, the racing surface is worn out. It's not about drainage, it's not about rain. It's about the racing surface is worn out. It's shot. It's too hard, it's too fast. This is the problem with almost every racetrack. They're too hard, they're too fast. Management does not want to put money back into the racing surface. In their mind, that doesn't pay. But that's the bedrock of success for a racetrack, is good racing, sound horses, good PR, and people coming to the races on a daily basis. Now, why am I at Grants Pass Downs today? Grants Pass is in western Oregon. So the Stronach Group, which is another villain in the horse racing world, the Stronach Group is poison. They own Santa Anita. They also own Pimlico. They're in the process of ruining Pimlico. Every day they're ruining Pimlico. They shut down Portland Meadows, which is about 250 miles north of here. Portland Meadows has been there since the 40s or 50s. Small track, but a nice place, great atmosphere. It was a second-level hub of racing in the Northwest under Emerald Downs. to the north in Seattle, and Golden Gate and Bay Meadows to the south in Northern California. It was a great flowing circuit. The Racetrack group unceremoniously, without warning, shut it down and bulldozed it. The Racetrack group is a real estate investment company. They're real estate developers. They don't care about horse racing. Nothing they do is horse racing centric. Its bottom line, ultimate goal is real estate development. So Portland Meadows has been bulldozed. Okay, so there's a man here in Grants Pass. His name is Travis Boersma. Travis is a businessman. He's a local resident. Travis Boersma is one of the founders and the CEO of Dutch Brothers Coffee. Now, just do a little research on Dutch Brothers Coffee. Dutch Brothers Coffee is the largest drive-through coffee chain in the United States. In the United States, the largest privately held company, not publicly traded. This guy is a visionary. This guy marches to his own drummer. He is a self-made man. He is a horse racing fan. He is a community-minded person. He has the wherewithal to do something because he is a businessman. And he doesn't have to answer to a board. He doesn't have to answer to a publicly traded entity, the SEC. He answers to himself. He loves horse racing. He loves his community. When he found out that Portland Meadows was being dismantled and demolished, Portland Meadows had 40-some racing dates that just went up into the air. Well, he moved to secure these Portland Meadows racing dates. He got them. He moved the racing dates to Grants Pass, to the fairgrounds in Grants Pass, Oregon, at Grants Pass Downs. Now, this is a small fairgrounds-style racetrack. The grandstand is small. It's a half-mile. It's a bull ring. But it's intimate. It's local. And he cares. The first thing he did, put in a new tote board, put in a safety rail for the horses and jockeys, and he added 800 tons of new racing surface to the racetrack. Now that's what I'm talking about. You slow these horses down, you add surface to your racetrack, and safety goes up. Your incidences of breakdowns and issues instantaneously cuts in half, just instantaneously. And it also has a residual effect because you're not training over a hard racetrack on a regular basis. So it starts multiplying for you and the horses as opposed to against you and the horses. Now, he's going to race Sundays and Mondays this fall through the early November. And he's going to race in the spring. And he's going to race evenings in the spring. He's also installing lights. So the man's putting money. He's putting his money where his mouth is. And he's trying to create something. Now the place, if you'll pan up here, the place is just an old concrete grandstand. It's country, but it's okay. I believe that he's doing the initial stuff like this first, and I think the sky's the limit where he may go. Now I don't know where he's going to go, and I don't know his exact vision of what he's going to do. But I'm going to meet him. I have a method by which to get an introduction to him, probably within the next week or two, and I don't know if our mindsets are the same. He may not want to give me the time of day. I'm open book. I want to talk to him. I want to see what his mindset is and what his philosophy is and what his thinking is. Now, he owes me nothing, but I'm going to offer to him any expertise that I have, ideas. He can accept them, reject them, take them, leave them. There's no hard feelings one way or another. I'm a fan of this guy, Travis Boersma, right this second, instantly, because what I see that he's doing and why he's doing it. And I think this is the cornerstone of what I'm talking about, where the future of horse racing needs to go. Not where these faceless stuffed shirts, people want to place it, where everything else goes below and they go up front. This man's catering to the fans, he's catering to the community, he's catering to the horsemen, and he's trying to build something. He signed a 50-year lease here. That's commitment. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go take a look at what's going on.
you know, a little bit far away, but it was there.
Just film.
Very fast off the inside, Chickfast, Frida, Cartel Rock is out wide, Cartel Rock now plays down the course of the Daydreamer, Cartel Rock and Daydreamer by Cartel Rock and Daydreamer, they were clear of Chickfast, Frida. The waiting judges are put straight to work. Gets underway at Great Park Down.
Weren't they fast?
Cartel Rocks.
Oh, I was.
Got to have a program. Don't know the players without a program.
Program. Do you need a tip sheet today? Yep. There we go.
Thanks very
Have
much.
a great time, guys.
You too. Thanks. Okay, good.
The filly is giving a dazzling display. 1 try and 2. $1 late pick 4. A pick 4, beginning with the 5th race. In race 4.
Okay, I want to introduce you to Cassie.
Williamino.
Cassie's riding here at Grants Pass Downs. And how many riders are here right now, Cassie?
I think there's 18 on the list.
And where are most of these riders coming from?
A lot of them from this area that have been riding here in Oregon, and probably some from Washington too. So yeah, kind of this area in general.
And are you from here? Where are you from?
I'm from Washington. I've been in Arizona for like the last year though, so just coming back for this meet actually.
Okay, good deal. What's your impression for the new racing dates here at the Grants Pass Downs?
It looks great. You know, it's been a couple years since I've been here to Grants Pass, and so a lot has changed in the 2 years since I've been here. But it looks great. It looks really promising, and sounds like there's some exciting things to come. So
Travis looks like he's making a real big commitment to the future here.
yeah, it does.
It's got to excite all the horsemen.
For sure, and you know, it's a struggle for horsemen because it seems like, you know, when Portland Meadows sold, it was like, shoot, you know, what do we do here in Oregon? And I kind of learned to ride here in Oregon, so this feels like home for me. So yeah, it's definitely exciting and definitely a relief to a lot of horsemen to have somewhere to go.
How long have you been riding?
5 years now.
And you got started on the fairs here?
Yep, on the fairs. A little bit back home and in Canada, and then came to Oregon and stayed for a few years, anyways, riding on the fairs here.
Really good.
Yeah.
And purses. It looks like with the instant racing coming forward, the purses are going to start bumping up and make it really a viable way to make a living. You know, a good living, a decent living.
Yeah, exactly, and that helps everyone. You know, it helps us as riders, grooms. You know, it just feeds down the chain, and so that's really exciting to have somewhere. You know, because the fairs are fun, but it's hard. You know, the purses aren't huge, and so it's a lot of work to make a living. Where if you have a little more money in the purses, it makes a big difference for everybody.
You bet it does.
Yeah.
And when the meet ends here in November, where do you see yourself going for the winter until you can come back in the spring, assuming you are coming back in the spring?
Yeah, my husband rides too. We'll go back to Arizona, to Phoenix, Turf Paradise, and we spent the winter last year there too. So we have a house trailer down there that we just leave down there. So we'll go back there for the winter, and then when the meet ends there, we'll probably come check it out in the spring.
Do you know Gordon Weaver?
I don't know if I do know Gordon Weaver.
How about Heather Mowers? Heather and Randy.
Uh-huh.
I know that.
Okay, yeah.
And
Small world.
what about Greg Tracy?
Yep. Yep, I know the name anyways. I don't know if
Up
I've
in
met.
Canada.
Yeah, I don't know if I've met him in person, but I definitely know the name.
I used to ride for Greg.
Okay,
Good
awesome.
guy. He's from
Yeah.
Montana.
Yeah.
And he transferred most of his racing interests into Canada a few years
Yeah.
ago because of the purses, you know.
For sure, yeah. And there's not really much left in Montana. I think Great Falls runs, and
I rode at Great Falls, one of the last full meets they had before they started, you know, going up and down, and
Yeah.
now it's getting pretty
Yeah.
shaky in Montana.
yeah.
So we're really excited to see new life in racing in Oregon.
Yeah, for sure.
We're excited about the future here. 50-year lease is a real commitment. Real happy to see somebody like yourself and the other riders that are here that are gonna really add value, I think, to the racing scene here. And more money equals more horses, better riders, more riders. It all feeds on itself.
Yep, it does. It does. Yeah.
Patsy, really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for giving
Yeah.
us a few minutes of your time
No
before the
problem.
next race.
Anytime, yeah.
And we'll look to see more of you in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
you're welcome. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, this is the Grants Pass Downs Racing on the Road, as I just mentioned. Fall meet. This is their program. Just another example here. This program is printed locally. It's not printed in Indianapolis, Indiana, and then PDF'd here and downloaded and put together, randomly. This is printed right here in Grants Pass. Now, I also want you to notice here, what's really good about this is all of the ads are community ads. They're local community ads. Everything in here is local support of the horse racing effort that Travis is putting together. Everything here is local. When I say local, I'm talking about Grants Pass and possibly Medford, which is 25 miles south. This is what you've got to have to invigorate racing. It's got to be local. It's got to start local. It's got to start organically and stay organically and then grow. This is how you revitalize horse racing. Community to community. You've got to make it an event. You've got to make it special. You've got to get people involved. People they're participating. They're buying advertising here. They want to be involved. This supports the horse racing effort here. I don't want to hear about Europe. I don't want to hear about racing in other countries. I don't care about racing in Europe. We're in the United States. The United States horse racing scene is what I'm focused on. Europeans can do whatever they want to do. My hat's off to them. I support them. Do whatever you want in Europe. No medication. Race on all-weather tracks. Race on, wood chips. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care. This is the United States. We've got to focus on our problems here. The Europeans all want to come here and run the Breeders' Cup. They have nothing equal to our Breeders' Cup. Come on, I welcome them. Treat them right. Treat them good. Bring them, whatever they need. But the United States is where the crisis is in horse racing, and this is where we're going to solve it. We're not going to solve it by importing European thinking. You're going to solve it by good old-fashioned American, made in the USA thinking. There it is.
No, you want next one.
Another thing that I've been talking about in the past is the animal rights activists. Don't give them power. They don't have any. The only thing they do is seize power. They prey upon the weak. They prey upon perceived weakness. They have no actual power. These people are like the Wizard of Oz. If you've not watched the movie recently, go check it out. Go to the last scene. The all-powerful Oz was simply smoke and mirrors. All these animal rights activist people are smoke and mirrors. They're lobbyists. They prey on people's fears and emotions. Don't give them power they don't have. Ignore them. Starve them. Their nutrition is attention. Don't give them any. They are not the problem. there's not been one horse racing track ever closed down by animal rights activists. They close down entities that lay down and roll over. They close down entities who believe them to have power. They don't really have any. Ignore them. Okay, this is the first race, first thoroughbred race of Grand Downs fall meet. And I want to point out to you that the track announcer here is Michael Rona. Michael Rona is a world-class race caller. He's called races at Santa Anita, Hollywood Park, Bay Meadows, Golden Gate Fields, Arlington, Fairgrounds. He's been everywhere. This is a commitment to excellence here by hiring Michael Rona to call the races here at Grants Pass Downs. This guy has no peers. He is a world-class race caller. There are few and far between these guys. Now listen to his call of this race.
Brownie Pepper in the green colours kicks forward, and Mr. GQ's not far away. Round past the 3/8 pole, and now Sequoia Sunset strides clear. Leads Brownie Pepper by a length and a half, and they kick 2.5 clear of Mr. GQ's Sonic Boy. A good long margin of a half dozen lengths to 47 Blue, followed by Nebraska Chrome. Leading at the bar and 4 lengths to Maggie's Amazing. They have about a 1/8 of a mile left to go, and Sequoia Sunset is lifting effortlessly to a 5-length advantage over Mr. GQ. They're clear of Sonic Boy on the inside of Brownie Pepper, but past the 16th pole, Sequoia Sunset is nicely clear. Sequoia Sunset taking care of this. Sonic Boy after second, Mr. GQ drifting wide, finished third in front of Brownie Pepper.
So, the winner of this horse race today, the first thoroughbred race of the fall meet at Grants Pass Downs, is owned by Travis Boersma. And how fun is that? You know, here's a guy that is also a horse owner. The horse was 1-9. He won like a 1-9 shot. Jock never uncocked his stick, hands in his lap at the wire. He just cruised to victory. Congratulations to Travis Boersma on putting his money where his mouth is, being a horse owner, being a racetrack operator, and trying to invigorate racing in Grants Pass. He's taking the Portland Meadows dates that were basically destroyed and trash canned by the Stronach Group at Portland Meadows, and he's bringing them to Grants Pass. Bravo to Travis Boersma, Dutch Brothers Coffee, founder and CEO. Doesn't get any better than that. Thanks, Travis. Definitely want you guys to send me questions. You can ask me anything, absolutely anything. And be careful, because you're going to get the truth. You're not going to necessarily get what you want to hear. You're going to get what you need to know. And I'm going to answer.